Welcome back to the secret underground lair. Continuing to work on our Gluckstein inspired console. Doing a little bit of work yesterday, not a lot, but I got a little bit done. What I have put in were some hinge blocks. So this will let me mount our self-closing hinges about there. So that was a little bit tricky. I have to drill holes, of course, in this. This is a solid maple block, so it'll take a screw really well, and I can drill a pilot hole to avoid it splitting. So I've got two there, two of a slightly different size on this side. Right now the clamps are holding down the glue block or the hinge blocks that I have just placed on this side of the cabinet. So we're just kind of waiting for all that glue to set and dry. I see I have a glue drip I gotta catch. And it also occurred to me that what I need to do is drill some holes, drill a hole through here so that we can get cables running from one side of the cabinet to the other, a hole through this shelf, and a hole out here in the back. All the wires need to go out this lower left corner of this particular console, and to suit the characteristics of the room. And also fiddling around with a little bit of leg detail. So we're going to put this little bit around the leg, and that'll kind of complement the width and angle here on the top. So I'm going to get them both in frame, but that's the concept. So lots of little fiddly stuff today. I'm expecting the rattan to come for our fourth door. That should arrive sometime today, maybe late in the day, so I might not get that on this video, but in the meantime, continue on with the fiddly bits. I'm going to start with the holes. So I'll start by drilling this hole through here. And once I kind of break the surface, I'm going to go from the back and come through the other way. That will clean up very nicely. That's one. I'm going to cut one drill up here in this corner. Okay, there's our hole there. And now we'll drill one in the shelf. So the hole that I'm putting here in the back of the shelf, it's not going to be in the middle of the shelf. I'm actually going to make it more of a cutout than a hole. But I'll use the hole saw and be in about 1/2 inch from the edge. And then we can use the jigsaw and just kind of make that a straighter cut there. Seems to cut a lot faster when the sawdust has a way to escape. All right, and that is the gist of the hole. Now I'll straighten that up with the jigsaw. Yeah, I think I'll just sand that out. Be back in a second. Okay, and after sanding that out, I like that cutout. So that's going to be good in the back of the shelf. On to the next fiddly bit. So back, putting in some hinges on the doors. Our rattan has arrived for the fourth door, so we'll get onto that. But I just want to get two of these doors hung. So I have the hinges now mounted on the door. One of the things I have learned is that before marking on the door frame itself where the hinge holes are going to be, get the hinge, all the adjustments that you can make on this hinge to the center. So this hinge can be adjusted up and down. So I have made sure that I'm in the center of that up-down adjustment. The hinge can be adjusted in and out. So I've made sure I'm in the center of that in-out adjustment. And in terms of opening though, I do like keeping this frame here up tight against this edge. I have set it initially so that it is right up tight. That lets me, the adjustment then I can make it go all the way out. So that's the one thing that's at the maximum is or minimum I guess, is the distance from this edge to here. Everything else is in the middle of the road mark so that I can make those little minor adjustments as I go. Now to get this sitting in the right height, as I mark that, I'm just using a shim. These are typically used to mount a door frame, a door within a jamb. So I can see that if I just put that in here a little bit, that's probably going to give me the height that I need to get me in closer to the middle. And again, I do have adjustment on the hinge itself, so I can make that final adjustment once it's in, but this just lets me get the holes for the hinge mount where I wanted. So that's about where I want the door. Close enough for getting the hinges in. That fine adjustment can be made with the hinges. So I'm just going to mark those holes and then drill them out and we can put these hinges in. Okay. I'll put the hinges on. Okay, and we will adjust them out a bit. Overall, I'm quite pleased with that. Put a little bumper on the front of the shelf here, and that will just have the doors just a little bit proud. It'll work out well. Okay, now rattan for the other door. Let's get that one finished. So this is the door that we're going to put rattan on, and I have the other door set up here just so that I can get a good reference on where the rattan ends. I want to get the holes on this one, or the grid on this door to match this door as close as I can. So I can see, for example, I have just a little bit of space between the edge of the rattan that forms the hole and the next piece of rattan. There's two pieces of rattan that run horizontally. So I just looking at these little lines of rattan and the hole placement, I'm going to try and make sure that I can get that set up here properly. So I've cut it now to rough length. I'll cut it to width, make the notches, and put it in. But I'm going to put you on fast forward through all this. You've seen me do it a couple times. No need to watch it all again in slow motion. Starting to get the hang of this caning stuff. If I had another 4 doors, I think it might be good at it. So, yeah, this worked out well. Fewer clamps, as you saw, and it seemed to me the best approach is to kind of clamp it in the middle on the long side. That kind of gave me an orientation. Then I put the clamps and nailed in the end pieces. That really seemed to start on one end. That just kind of let me work my way up the sides and get everything in the right alignment. So yeah, if you're doing this, recommend start on the end, work up the sides slowly, each side, and then you get to this end. So I'm just going to use my knife now, trim this off. Then I'm going to drill some holes. I'm short 2 hinges. Those are arriving in a couple days. But I'm going to get one more, I'll put one more door on and I'll come back when we have that final look. Well, near to final look. So there we are. 4 doors caned. 3 of them are on hinges. I have to get hinges on this door. The hinges should arrive tomorrow. But that's looking good, and we've got our shelf in, so it's all going to work out pretty well. Very happy with the result. In terms of those little feet that I pointed out at the beginning, we're going to do away with those. Just going to go for a cleaner look. So I think the next thing after getting that hinge on and fit is some sanding, and then we're into stain. And I'm going to call that a video for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.